My name is Malit Sarah. I'm the CCM in charge of blue economy, fisheries, mining and digital economy in Homabay County. So in the Department of Blue Economy and Fisheries, Homabay boasts of hosting the longest shoreline of Lake Victoria. And this is our pride as a community because it is empowering a lot of our people. Even though we are boasting of this longest shoreline, fisheries has become has experienced challenges because of overfishing, and therefore capture fisheries has declined and our fishermen no longer gain the way we used to in the past. So because it's our main source of economic empowerment, when Abdp got into Homabay County through our partners, IFAD, we count it as a real gain to us because apart from the trainings and extension services that we are giving our fishermen, today our people are being trained to move from capture fisheries into aquaculture, whereby apart from the pond fisheries, we are today encouraging our fishermen to adopt cage farming. And when Abdp came in to boost us with the feeds and the fingerlings, today we are here witnessing 12 cages that were given to groups in Homabay County. And this group we are visiting today is composed of 180 members, amongst whom 98 are female. And we also have 27 people living with disability. So we are really happy that we are not only supporting our normal people, but even people with disability are included. And we are also attracting youth into these groups. So we are really happy that these people will benefit, and this is going to be their seed capital to expand. And we have trained them to be into cooperatives so that from the first harvest, they will be able now to carry on with the farming. So we really appreciate our partnership as a county with IFAD and Abdp, and I think such partnership should be enhanced in future so that more of our farmers can also benefit from the same initiatives. In Homabay County, one of our key human development policy is gender mainstreaming, and we all know that Homabay County is a female-led county by none other than Her Excellency Governor Gladys Atieno Nyasuna Wanga. So this policy, through this policy, we've made sure that the fisheries industry that was initially male-dominated today can bring together women to be part of the fishermen. But not only fisher folk, they are also fish farmers. Amongst our groups, we have groups that are female-led, like Keroche Women Group and Tintole Women Group. And these cages, today the group we are visiting is composed of 180 members, amongst whom 98 are women. And then we have 27 people with disability, meaning 30% of the group is composed of females, 20% is composed of youth and our people with disability. So we are really happy that our women today are empowered through fishing, and we appreciate our partnership with IFAD and the national government for this initiative. Yeah, and this is the main reason why we are encouraging our female to participate throughout the fish value chain, from farming to processing to trading to transportation, so that their impact is felt throughout the fish farming industry. These tremendous results have been realized through the concerted collaborations between the national government, the county governments, the development partners, and the communities. And if this can be enhanced, then we, in future, can be able to escalate greater development into our communities. Yeah, we greatly appreciate the support that we get from the development partners, but our people are here to remain with us. When such programs go away, the county will be here to help and to sustain them, to move on with their lives. So as a county, in fisheries, we are able to support our fishermen, one, by maintaining hygiene in our beaches, by developing the landing sites, and also creating toilets along the beaches. Apart from that, we are providing our farmers with pond liners. We are giving them predator kits. And we are also giving them extension services through our extension officers. Yeah, so as a county, we are supporting them to make sure that From these grants, they are able to escalate and develop and also now go ahead on their own.
My name is Michael Omondi. I'm the County Program Coordinator for Aquaculture Business Development Program in Homabay County. Homabay County is blessed by having 1,545 square kilometers of water, and we also have 3 times that number of land, and we have rivers. So it is not by chance, but it is by design that aquaculture and fisheries is a mainstay in the Homabay economy. Abdp, which is Aquaculture Business Development Program, came in to build up on our pond farming, and so we have increased our productivity, which when we were starting in 2019 was just around 300 to 400 grams per square meter from the ponds, to now where we are boasting of 800 grams per square meter from the ponds themselves in terms of productivity. That means that we were having fish which were around 200 grams. Now our farmers are producing over 130 kilograms per cycle in a pond of 300 square meter. And that is something which is good for us to rejoice in. And as we were improving on it on the ponds themselves, mid-term 2023, we opted now to move into cage farming because we realized Homabay County is blessed with clean, pristine waters. We can farm fish with very minimal fish kills occurring, and we have cleaner waters which attracted multinational investors like Victory Farms, which we are having in the county, like Global Tilapia, which we are also having in the county. So the community were asking, how do we also benefit from this new venture, this new frontier where people are producing more fish from smaller volumes? And that is how now through Abdp, we moved into community cage farming. And community cage farming has grown with leaps and bounds. In Homabay, Abdp alone are going to have 21 cages for the community. After a rigorous exercise, the community discovered that it would be beneficial if each cage would have 15 members. If you have more than 15, then the profits would not be profitable for the members. So each of those cages will have 15. And in this bay, which is one of those places where we had selected, first we had to do an environmental and social impact assessment to ensure that it is sustainable. Second, we had to train the community and identify the beneficiaries properly. We had to ensure that we mainstreamed and targeted well. The first exercise that we did was have the community conduct what we are calling a participatory rural appraisal, where we mapped out all the households and deliberately picked on the female-headed households. And that is why of the 180 beneficiaries in this place, you'll find that 98 are women, whether they are above 35 or below, but we ensure that 98, which is way beyond the 30% that is required. And then we had youth, which were also coming in at a very high number of 48. We have about 4 people who are also persons with disability. There was a bit of a challenge when it came to mainstreaming them, because the program also needed the persons who are in the program to support it by in-kind contribution. So some of the challenges which were coming up was, if somebody is abled differently and they say today is your turn to go and feed, how then would we work on this? But because where there is a challenge, there is always a solution. And the solution came in, if you can't go physically, you can actually pay. And because you are not going to pay upfront, we can have your days of working being deducted from the proceeds which you are getting there. And that will now open the doors for more people with disabilities to be mainstreamed into the cages so that they can also have fish, not only for eating, but also for bringing money for their upkeep and income. We have trained our farmers and we've collaborated with people nearby to offer extension services. Our key factor for sustainability is to try and link them with a powerful off-taker, whereby the off-taker would be the person who will buy all the proceeds from them and then pay them upfront cash. The same off-taker also will assist them when they have challenges in terms of extension. The same off-taker may also assist them to access credit. So far, banks have shown interest. Equity Bank and Kenya Commercial Bank have come on the ground and they are ready to offer loans. The off-takers themselves are also ready to offer subsidized inputs as the farmers grow from them, and then they agree at an end-term market price for produce. We have been having fishermen who are bringing in fish, but their fish was unpredictable. And that is what was giving bankers a challenge when it came to insuring them, when it came to also supporting them in terms of credit. But now that we have moved into cage farming, which is even more predictable and scientifically proven, it is easier for them now to know that we will stock this particular number of fish, and then after 7 or 8 months, they'll have grown to a particular size and we are sure of the tonnage. Today, we are having community cages which are having 10 meter diameter, which means we can stock them with 30,000 fish. And by the time we are harvesting, we are guaranteeing a minimum of 6 tons from each cage, all the way to 8 tons. And as we improve and have best management practices, the peak will be 12 tons from each cage. And based on that, now banks can easily give out loans, and that is what has attracted them to come into this sector. And now we are having aquaculture loans being given out by Equity Bank, aquaculture loans being given by Agricultural Finance Corporation. We have aquaculture loans also being given by Kenya Commercial Bank. But that is not all. We have also seen now insurance companies moving in to the same venture, where they are saying, because we know what you are stocking and we know what you needed, you pay a minimal premium, and then from there, if your fish accidentally die before the time of harvest, the insurance company rebates you your losses. So this is one sector which is stabilizing, and that is what is making now the blue economy the true next frontier, where people are moving in droves of thousands and millions. Economically, we are also still assisting the community, because once we brought in the cages, it spurred up growth in various sectors. The first note that we saw was there were technically skilled people who are riding the boats to where the cages are to feed them, and they were being paid. The youth also who had motorbikes would find where they would go to the stockists and bring the fish feed back to where the cages are, and that spurred up more economical growth. Not to mention that the community themselves, now they have another revenue stream. They'll be making money from the fish that they have sold. And value addition is something else which we are also anticipating. Once we start producing the tons of fish, there will be people who will want to buy, and they would want their fish to be prepared. So the initial ground would be remove the scales, remove the intestines from the fish at a small fee, and then sell it to them. The county is looking for enabling ways of improving the cold chain. So the other thing which I'm expecting is investors to come and put up ice plants, so that now as you remove the fish from the cages, you buy the ice from the site and things work. The third part which we are also looking at is such programs, when they come, they improve on one, there is need for electricity, and two, there is need for improvement of the roads. So when the roads and the electricity are on the ground, you find there are various more opportunities for people to enter into business and more money to flow to the grassroots. Like we say, pesa mashinani. And for sustainability of the program itself was envisaging us connecting our beneficiaries to an off-taker, so that the off-taker will help them move through the cycles. We know that after the first cycle of cage farming, you have not really broken even. The only advantage is the cage, and the initial startup was given by the program, so the farmers would say we are not factoring it in. And of course, before you stabilize to reach where we had spoken about the 12 tons, you need to go various cycles. So one of the sustainability methods is the off-taker we are having on ground. Two, we as a county government, we are also planning to see how to put up aqua parks, so that now we bring in more investors. And as the farmers have learned and they can take loans, this is a sure business. We are going to increase our extension staff to offer extension services. We are going to privatize our extension service providers, because we have various youths who have studied in various institutions. Ramogi Institute of Advanced Technology are training people in diploma and certificates. And then we also have fish farms around. They will be employed there as cage attendants, as farm managers, and also to help us in sorting and grading. And we want to put up mini processing plants in the county, which will now buy the fish and then we'll export. We are taking Homabay back to where it was. It was exporting 80% of Nile perch from Lake Victoria to the European Union. We want Homabay now to export 80% of the fish which is consumed in Kenya from this county.